to the Hockey Shop, source for sports. We're back down in Goal Utopia with Cam Matwin. Accessory Day, something a little new. Toe ties, a subject we've talked about a lot in terms of stock options, custom options, different options. Cam has a new option, Pro Laces, in-store and online.
Oh, that's what they are. I thought we got a little mixed up on the whole Accessory Day thing. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, okay. Folks, you never know what you're going to see when you come down to Goal Utopia. Cam dressing up in accessories. Just don't ask him to show you his piercings or tattoos.
Which I have zero of.
Let's stick with the stuff you put on your pads as opposed to the stuff that Cam puts on his body, because no one needs to see that. Tell me about Pro Laces and what makes them unique, Cam Matwin.
So, finally, after caving in a little bit to pressure, we picked these bad boys up. Another further option for Bungee toe ties on our wall, as well as soon to be on our website. What do we have? We have both a senior and a junior option in two different styles. We do have our standard elastic cord. So we could give to them a little stiffer in the junior models, but they compensate with adding a little bit more length to them. What I do like, this class is designed to, on your current pad, you take out the laces or the bungees that's in there, and this actually screws in to that. So it gives you the hardware with it. So some assembly required, but then you don't have to fiddle around with doing knots or anything like that like you do with some of the other ones. So installation process, fairly straightforward. Again, straightforward bungee in both senior and junior.
You've got the junior there.
Yes, correct.
And the senior obviously has sort of like the lace style over top of the bungee.
And no, not correct. There's senior and junior of this, and then senior and junior of that. That's the Pro Armour is what you see there. So
okay, so you got Pro Armour, and that's just your stock one.
Just your standard bungee lace.
Okay.
Correct. So what happens there with the one that has the lace over top of it, this is called the Pro Armour. So the skate lace adds a little bit more protection in terms of for the bungee against skate cuts and things like that. You know, if people are walking around the change room and somebody happens to step on your bungee, it's always been a bit of an issue. So again, a little bit of extra protection there in both senior and junior as well. So we could give to these guys as well. Again, another great option for you to toss onto your pads.
Okay, so the one question I have is, where does this fit on the scale of that give and that flexibility? And I would, on top of my head, I would probably put that scale from Bauer and Brian's, where there's a lot of give. And at the other end, CCM. I know in some of our testing with their stock one, some people feel like there's not enough elasticity. It's really hard to find that fine line because length affects that. Whether you put a knot in there to give yourself a built-in gap affects that. Like this to me feels like it might lean a little more towards the CCM scale in terms of how much.
Now this is the patented InGoal /Hockey Shop Bungee scale. We're going to call that a name now. And I would agree with you. Again, Bauer and Brian's being kind of more on that elastic side. I would find these actually both fall somewhere in the middle. Even on both of them, they have about the same resistance regardless of the Pro Armour versus the standard bungee right there. I wouldn't say that they're as resistant as for example, the CCM ones that were coming stock, but they don't have as much give as the Bauer or Brian's either. So like I said, they do fall somewhere in the middle. Nice thing is having that little toe class does create a little bit of a natural gap for you already. So there is a bit of an opportunity to, again, still have a little bit more of that gap. You'd still weave it through your skate holder, cowling, depending on what skate you have, the same way you would some of the other standard bungees or even laces for that matter, depending on what you're still using. And then just Velcro right up on top on the laces.
Well, and I will say this, I do like the generous nature of the Velcro area because when we talk about that adjustability and flexibility in terms of, being able to have different options and length being different, obviously this thing is going to pull a lot tighter if you're doing it like this atop your skate versus giving it a little more length by having it a little looser. So that'll affect that as well. So by having a nice big area and it looks like some nice stitching and seams through there that are going to maintain and not come apart on you, I think you've given yourself at least a little more play as you try and get that set up perfectly for yourself. Now, there's an argument to be made toe box on post, good old-fashioned skate laces and a gap, elasticity. If I go to push and that elastic gives, I'm not getting that push. So that's a conversation we can have for another day. But this, for those that like the bungee setup, this looks like a pretty good option. And you can find it, of course, online at thehockeyshop.com. Or if you have any questions, if you come in, you can get in store and check them out in person. Or if you have any questions about putting them on or how they're going to fit and feel, give Cam a shout at
604-589-1899 or 1-800-567-7790. Talk to you then.
We're going to have to put that in like slow-mo voice because he spoke so fast. Hutch, you're on it.
604-589-1899 or 1-800-567-7790. Talk to you then.